the more calcium is deposited in the skeleton of the little chick, the less calcium is in the shell. And therefore, the chick will be stronger, the shell will be weaker, and the chick will come out easily.
How do broiler breeder producers improve the hatchability, fertility, and the quality in their flock? That's the topic I'm going to discuss with Fernando Cisneros. He is really passionate about this topic. My name is Iris Hofman, editor for Poultry World, and this series is in cooperation with dsm-firmenich, Animal Nutrition and Health. Hello, Fernando, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very happy.
Well, you're welcome. What is the most important goal for broiler breeder producers?
Oh, the broiler breeder, they have a very important role because they have to supply the chicks that the broiler industry needs in enough quantity and also enough quality. If they're not doing their job, we can't produce enough affordable protein from poultry. That's the cornerstone. The broiler breeder is the primary provider of these chicks. So they are very, very important.
Very important. And what are challenges they are facing right now?
As usual, they have many challenges from the economical standpoint, environmental standpoint, microbial standpoint. But I guess the main challenge comes from the structure of the bird. The bird has been designed to grow very fast. And because they grow very fast, it's not going hand to hand with a good reproduction. So it's hard for them to reproduce like their counterparts, like laying hens that produce a bunch of eggs. And no, it's very hard for them in the reproduction. So really we have to help them.
And how can we help them?
Well, the main characteristics they have to improve is fertility, hatchability, quantity and quality of eggs, and of course the quality of the chicks. So those are the four that we really want to improve in a broiler breeder production flock.
Can you give me a couple of examples for hatchability, for instance?
Hatchability has a lot to do with the survival of the embryo. And this is a magical moment. You have to think in a little cell that in 21 days is a full chick.
Yeah, 21 days you have life.
21 days, it's marvelous. But in the first 72 hours happen a lot of things. There is this cell multiplication, a lot of what we call ROS or reactive oxygen substances, and they are attacking the yolk membrane. It's where the embryo is, yolk membrane. If they attack too much, the yolk membrane, the vitelline membrane will break, and the little embryo will be killed by the albumin proteins.
You don't want that.
No, so that vitelline membrane has to resist for between 48 to 72 hours until the vitelline sac is formed and the embryo is protected and then can open. So this is for us very important in terms of hatchability to keep that yolk membrane strong. That's very, very important for us.
And you also said quality and quantity. How do they match together?
Well, that has to do with the calcium phosphorus nutrition of the hen. We have to have enough plasmatic calcium for the first, we call it the mammillary layer, is the first layer in the shell formation. So the calcium plasma goes there and forms this mammillary layer. If there is not enough calcium plasma, then they have to go for the bone. Hey, bone, send me calcium. But the process keeps going, and that foundation of the shell is fractured. It's not terminated, not finished. Therefore, the quality of the egg will suffer. And we need a strong shell in order to provide good structure for the hatching chick. That's in terms of quality, but in terms of quantity, we need also to make sure that the bone structure of the hen is not affected in such a way that stop producing eggs before their time because they don't have enough good calcium and phosphorus in their diet. Those are the two more important in quality and quantity of the chicks.
And what role plays nutrients in all of this?
Very important. Very important because, well, of course, I'm a nutritionist, so I'm enthusiastic about this. But yes, nutrition plays a role in several ways. We have to control the weight of the bird via feeding management. That's very, very important. We have to control the weight of the rooster, because a rooster is too heavy, then our fertility goes down, and the fertility depends on the rooster. It's on the males. 95% of the fertility depends on the male. So we have to play that nutrition. Yeah. But also amino acid management, of course, is important. But especially the metabolites of vitamin D3 are very, very important.
D3?
You have to think, the metabolites of vitamin D3. You have to think that the little chick is going to take the calcium for their skeleton from the shell, right? Yeah. And for this, we need this 25-hydroxy-D3 enough in the egg to get this transfer of calcium. The more calcium is deposited in the skeleton of the little chick, the less calcium is in the shell. And therefore, the chick will be stronger, the shell will be weaker, and the chick will come out easily. It doesn't have to be struggling for hours. No, it will come easily with a better chick with higher glycemia or glucose levels in plasma, and it will be in way better shape. So that's part of the calcium. Yeah? And the longevity of the hen. Calcium is important. Carotenoid nutrition, of course. Carotenoids are the premier antioxidants in the egg yolk. Carotenoids are so important because there is no vitamin C. Vitamin C is important for us, but not for the chicks.
Not for chicks.
So there is no vitamin C in the egg. The egg has all the vitamins, all of them, but vitamin C. And the one that is going to help vitamin E as an antioxidant in the yolk is carotenoids. So we need to have carotenoids there, and we have to provide them carotenoids. They don't have enough carotenoids in the feed, so we have to provide them. We have many ways to help our breeder nutritionists and our breed producers. Yes.
So if we're talking about fertility, how can we improve that?
Let me take them out. In countries like, for example, some countries in Asia, they are using artificial insemination. And therefore, they can keep the roosters young, and they can change it and so on. And they have their fertility figured out. But in most countries, because of biosecurity, the rooster stays there. And our job is to keep that rooster working for as long as we can in order to have good fertility. So again, weight management is important, carotenoid management is important. The production of semen in the gonads of the rooster is a very intensive oxidant process. So if we have antioxidants there, that will help the rooster to get better fertility. And that semen is deposited in the hen and has to last for several days. So again, if we have good antioxidant protection in the hen, that semen will preserve in better shape for longer time and will help our fertility. That's the way we do it.
Exactly. And how do you recognize a good hen?
How do you recognize?
Yeah.
No, it's good. We don't do selection in there.
No.
We have to make sure that we have a good pullet, a good nutrition of the hen before they come into production. So we are looking for uniformity, we are looking for weight, of course, and we are looking at the total of the production of the flock. We have to keep monitoring the flock all the time. So it's not the individual hen, but of course, we are always looking that the hen doesn't have a lot of color in their beaks. Because, if they have color, that means that the carotenoids are not being deposited in the yolk, therefore they is not producing.
Ah, yeah.
So we like them pale, not too pigmented, right? And of course, with good leg structure, and I guess that's the most important thing to be healthy. In our world, we say if the yolk is golden, that means that the hen is healthy. When you eat a golden egg with a beautiful golden yolk, it's coming from a healthy hen.
Is
always.
that where the golden egg comes from, the idea?
Yes. A golden yolk is always coming from a healthy hen. That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Thanks for the question. That was a good question. Yeah.
So what kind of technologies and solutions have broiler breeder producers found in the field that works?
Well, many, of course. One of them is we have to start by a good foundation of biosecurity. We have to make sure that the birds have good immunity, but also good environment, a clean environment. They have to have good temperature control. That is super important for us to have a good temperature control. We start them from there. The use of fiber in nutrition is very important for them to feel a little bit more satisfied with the feed and how we manage the feed. The use of a uniform weight in all the flock, that's also very, very important. And the use of feed additives. I cannot say enough about using carotenoids, using vitamin D3 metabolites, because they are super important to increase the productivity of the hens.
Exactly. And do you have a success story that you think of right now?
Well, I can tell you stories about that. We have a producer in China that was very happy with supplying carotenoids in the feed. But at one point, he sells part of his production. As in China, they sell fertile eggs. So part of the production was going into the public, and he get a feedback from the public that it was a bit too pigmented. They are a little bit too red for their tasting. So he decided to stop, and it didn't last very long. He came back right away because they know that carotenoids are very important for chick production and hatchability, fertility, chick quality, and so on. Actually, in Asia, the quality of the chicks is measuring the color of the tarsal.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They look for an orange tarsal. That's a good quality chick.
Good quality.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing this story, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for your time. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching Future Feed Talks. If you want to see more episodes or listen to our podcast, click on the links below.